phenomenal partnership with Pakistan. They have gone after ISIS-Khorasan, killing dozens of them. Pakistan, with limited intelligence that we're providing them, go after them using their means to do that. We have to have a relationship with Pakistan and with India. I do not believe it is a binary switch.
General Kurilla, you talked about ISIS-K in Afghanistan in your opening statement. I'd like a little deep dive, if you don't mind.
Sure. All right, so ISIS-Khorasan, perhaps one of the most active in trying to do external plots globally, to include against the homeland. Right now, what we saw is the Taliban, in going after ISIS-K, they hate each other, pushed a lot of them into the tribal areas on the Afghan-Pakistan border. Through a phenomenal partnership with Pakistan, they have gone after ISIS-Khorasan, killing dozens of them. Through a relationship we have with them, providing intelligence, they have captured at least 5 ISIS-Khorasan high-value individuals. They extradited back Jafar, who was one of the key individuals behind the Abbey Gate bombing. And the first person he called, Chief of the Army Staff Munir, was me, and said, I've caught him, I'm willing to extradite him back to the United States. Please tell the Secretary of Defense and the President. So we are seeing Pakistan, with limited intelligence that we're providing them, go after them using their means to do that. And we're seeing an effect on ISIS-Khorasan. At the same point, they are continuing to move around. Sometimes they will try and go back into Afghanistan. We have the means to be able to collect, but for the most part right now, they're hanging out right in that border area of Pakistan. And I would also tell you that, since 2024, the beginning, Pakistan had over 1,000 terrorist attacks in the western area, killing about 700 security and civilians and 2,500 wounded. They're in an active counterterrorism fight right now, and they have been a phenomenal partner in the counterterrorism world.
Does it seem like they're scaling down or scaling up?
So I think from ISIS-Khorasan, they got hit very, very hard over the last several months. And so I would tell you right now, they're at a low point right now. What we're getting out of interrogation and exploitation has been significant. But remember, these are the same individuals that did the Crocus Music City Hall attack in Moscow. They did the attack in Kerman, Iran, and they've attempted other attacks. And there is actually ties in a classified setting that I could talk in terms of the homeland.
China, whatever we have to do not to go back to that place would be amazing.
That's why we need to, if I could.
Yes, please.
We have to have a relationship with Pakistan and with India. I do not believe it is a binary switch, that we can't have one with Pakistan if we have a relationship with India. We should look at the merits of the relationship for the positives that it has.
General Langley, in regards to AFRICOM, it seems as if Russia more or less has Africa landlocked. Well, I'm looking at the map here. Can you give me a kind of a high-level briefing when it comes to Tunisia, Algeria, and Libya, the northern part of Africa? If you roll the clock back maybe a decade, that seems to be the best place you could hide in plain sight, especially in the northern point of Tunisia, with the vastness of the desert. Are we seeing anything happening, developing in the northern part of Africa? Because it seems as if we are centrally kind of focused on where all the rare earth minerals are being mined.
Congressman, that's a great question. And I've always been, through my tenure of command, the last 3 years, engaging with all these countries to the degree as we look at this is NATO's southern flank. And I see those strategic choke points on there. We need freedom of navigation or freedom of action for our ships in support of those war plans for NATO and for EUCOM. So I've been working overtime and engaging with these countries. Morocco's doing their part, and even Algeria, which in some realms that we disagree on some things, but Algeria, we were able to sign a non-binding agreement in cooperation. But I will tell you that Russia is still there. They're still trying to effect an agreement on their own so they can get basing access or port access. And as you even go down into Libya, I met with Field Marshal Haftar almost two times, engaging them to ensure that we can work with them because we have shared threats, especially along their southern borders of terrorism. Just engaging with both sides, trying to get collective agreement in Libya between the GNU and the LNA. That is essential that we keep U.S. Diplomatic agreements and cooperation with these countries because we see what Russia's trying to do, establish some ports across the Mediterranean, warm water ports, so that it'll affect their operations, try to get a decisive advantage. But we're not going to let that happen in phase zero coherency operations that we do in AFRICOM.
Thank you. Ms. Thompson, I have nothing for you today. Keep up the great work. I yield back, sir.
You got it easy today from him. All right, we now have Mr. Cisneros is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and General Kurilla and General Langley. Thank you both for your years of service and dedication to our country as you both get ready to retire here in a while. But General Langley, when I was in the Navy, my ship, the USS Ogden, stopped in Eritrea, which was at that time a new independent nation. We went there to show the flag, but to show a support for this new country and really to the region as well. But that's not the impression I'm getting from the current administration. They're pulling away foreign aid. Ships aren't visiting the continent like they used to. We're leaving a void for Russia and for the PRC to fill. And you've been quoted as saying that the PRC is replicating what we have done in Africa, targeting the International Military Education and Training Program that they also said they're going to increase security and training in a number of countries. In April, it was reported that Cairo and the PRC were planning to participate in a joint exercise between their air forces. As the administration continues to pull back and the PRC continues to build relations, what, in your opinion, is the national security risk and impact to Africa as well as to us here at home?
I'd say the CCP is trying to replicate what we do, what we've done in the past, and have a strategic advantage, and especially engaging with our African partners. Because they want to be able to establish an enabler to close the decisive gap that we've had over them for years. I'll just go into maritime sense, especially with their NETF, which is their Naval Expeditionary Task Force. They go around the periphery of the African continent, engaging with a number of countries. We need to be able to get that. You brought up, your naval background. When we had the ARG-Muse, we're not heel-to-toe anymore. Mm-hmm. We're not 3.0. We do need the amphibious readiness group and the Marine expeditionary units out there on ships. That is a force multiplier for crisis response or any other show of deterrence. I'd say, that's not... That doesn't go across political lines. That goes in operational lines. Navy, as I met with the Vice Admiral in their operation sense, but also met with Admiral Kilby and also Stuart Munch, and they are bringing up the capability to try to provide Africa with that capability so that we can compete with China, especially in the maritime sense. So I would say that one step in the right direction is getting those ARG-Muse back out there and in the AFRICOM theater.